can't spell success without you. PowerPlan Project presents
Back in the Kitchen.
Homemade do-it-yourself loaf of bread.
Well, hello there and welcome to Back in the Kitchen, and today we're going to look at what everybody seems to struggle with, which is bread. And what we're going to do is create a nice easy recipe, which is, if you've actually gone out and bought yourself a bread maker, this is more or less the recipe that you get on the card inside, or the little ingredients list that you get inside. So what we're going to do is just use a standard bread maker. This is about £60 or so. We're going to use program 8, which takes about 3 hours, but once it stops cooking, what you need to do is leave it for another hour until you get the second bleep. Just let it brown the bread off. And we're going to make loaves which are practically perfect every time. I've done this for myself, I've done this for people. Everybody loves it. It's a great recipe. I have tweaked it slightly, but the method is we don't have to worry about ingredients, we don't have to worry about e-control, and we don't have to worry about are we going to get a stodgy type loaf or a disformed loaf, or are we going to get a doughy loaf. This is going to turn out really nice every time, nice and simple. So what are we going to need? Well, we're going to make a 750 gram loaf, which is very similar to what you get from the shop. For this we're going to need 300 grams of milk, 23 grams of butter, about 5 grams or a teaspoon of salt, 6 grams of caster sugar, 450 grams of flour, 5 grams of yeast and 5 grams of baking powder. So tip number 1 to actually make the bread is weigh the milk. So get a jug and put it on the scales, and what we need to do is weigh 300 grams of milk. We know exact in this demo it's 306, but you know, we don't want 300 millilitres, we actually want 300 grams of milk. And add to that your 23 grams of butter. And at this point what we want to do is put it in the microwave for exactly 2 minutes. We want the butter to melt, not completely, but we'll see what comes out from the microwave shortly. So while that's in the microwave, next what we need to do is weigh out our 5 grams of baking powder. Now do this on a different saucer and just weigh it on a standard scale. So move the saucer around slightly. And next what we need is 5 grams or 1 teaspoon of easy bake yeast. But I found making bread this way, it makes it nice and easy. Next we need 6 grams of caster sugar. Unfortunately the scales seem to reset themselves so it doesn't show it. But we need 6 grams or just over a teaspoon. And once again we need 5 grams of salt. So that is really just a teaspoon of salt, which you generally leave on the teaspoon, it's just at the side. Or you can put it on the sauce if you want to. And next we just need to weigh out 450 grams bread flour. So once the microwave is pinged, what we need to do is get the actual container from the bread maker and put our butter and milk mixture in. Once that's in, we need to tip in the flour, being careful, obviously I've weighed it separately so it's accurate, and then finally add the yeast, caster sugar, baking powder and salt. Now this should rest gently on top of the flour, no problem at all. We'll go to our bread maker, put it on program 8, we'll put the tray back in with the contents of the ingredients, and then press start. And we simply leave that now for 3 hours to cook. It will beep, and then leave it another hour so it can brown, where you will receive a second beep. Once cooked, leave it about 20 minutes, let it cool, then simply tip it upside down. There's always an hole in the bottom, that's where the paddle from the bread maker is, and what you can do is just press on it lightly, and if you can rescue any of the excess bread from the actual bread maker, you can kind of pat it in. Turn it upside down, and there is our loaf, which, you know, is not bad at all. And what we'll find is that we can nice and easily cut through that, and it's nice, light and fluffy, absolutely beautiful inside. So what we find is that 750 grams of bread, or this loaf, will contain around 1954 calories. Saturated fat is 10.4 grams, and carbohydrates is 237.4. And it costs around £1 to make. Cutting it carefully, you'll get around 15 slices, or 15 servings. This reduces it down per slice to 130.3 calories, 0.7 in saturated fat and 15.83 in carbohydrates, and each slice costs around 7p. Now it is high in calories at 130 calories, but I would say one slice of this is about the same as 2 slices of normal bread. You'll find that it's really filling and it's very satisfying because you've made it. However, if you're worried about diabetes type issues, or you simply want to try and lose weight, you might think that's a little bit high in carbohydrates and, to be honest with you, quite calorific. So what we can do is substitute 2 of the ingredients. If you substitute the milk for water, I'll go for 300 grams of water. And if you find a butter or a margarine like Bitoli Light and use that, we actually reduce that per slice to 84.8 calories, 0.27 in saturated fat, and a slight reduction of 14.87 in carbohydrates. And it does actually cost a little bit cheaper at 5p per slice. So there we go. So that's my bread making video. Give it a try. Go and get the bread maker out. It's probably somewhere gathering dust. Why not use it? If you look in the shops now, you can get bread flour again, or you can actually get bread flour online. What I would say is check the calories if you've got a selection available, because some of the flour can be quite calorific. The one which I've used is 248 calories per 100 grams, which is quite good, but there are some on the market about 400 calories per 100 grams. So have a shop around, find the ingredients that you want, use brand versus brand, it's there to be used, which is a great tool. Give it a try, let us know what you think, and if you want you could even email some of the bread pictures in, and we might even do a little bread review. Why not? So thank you for watching, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, like if you liked it, even dislike it if you didn't like it. Any feedback is great, and we look forward to the next video.
If you have enjoyed this video, then please provide your support by liking this video and subscribing to this YouTube channel. If you are watching on Facebook, then please like and share this video with your family and friends. And as always, thank you for viewing.